It's gone insane, and I'm just so grateful that you folks have gone out and got the exposure for this, because people need to know this. Parents need to know this. This could be coming to a school near you, and it needs to be nipped in the bud.
Hey, don't just assume that, well, this has got to be working for somebody, so it's okay. Continue to speak out. When something offends you or rubs you the wrong way, speak out and say, this is not appropriate. As a mom, I've got a right to say something to my teachers, my kids' teachers, and I'm going to continue to. And make sure it doesn't happen to your kid, because, bureaucracy goes wrong on many, many levels, and we know that.
Yeah.
So if you see it going wrong in your own kid's life, you need to speak up and do something.
Exactly. I remember my son bringing home his books. I read every one of his books from the time he was in 3rd grade on through high school. I read them. I read them with him. I read them before he read them. I highlighted things. I said, when you get to this, you'd come and talk to me.
Oh, my mom was a grizzly bear like that, too. She would always go in and yell at the teachers for not disciplining correctly, or for teaching us songs with witches' spells in them instead of the Christmas songs.
Yeah, I did the same thing. And you have to be that kind of proactive if you want your... And also, it sends a message to the child that there are things worth fighting for. If the parents never come to school, never stand up for their child against the teacher, I'm not saying teacher's bad, but when you're dealing with a lot of different kids, a lot of different teachers, there's going to be something somewhere that's going to come up. If that parent doesn't stand up for that child, then the child's going to, you're going to look at it and say, well, why should I stand up for myself? It's part of the process of teaching our children to be discernible about what they're getting input to their heads.
Exactly, and that was one of my biggest concerns sending my child to a public school, but I also know that I have a great rapport with that child. She will come back and talk with me about things, and we will communicate about these issues. I'm not going to hide her from what's going on in the world, but I am going to teach her how to discuss these things and where our morality is versus where the world's morality is. And
perfect. I went to in grade school in the 70s. The town I went to, it was a rural town here in North Dakota. The 300-400 people in my class. There was 12 in my class. So something like this, I just couldn't. After hearing this story, I just couldn't fathom it. But given what the government's been doing to everyone else and intruding in everyone's lives, I'm not surprised at all. But it's sad where we've come from, though. I mean, it's where I grew up, kind of like Mayberry, to you have kind of like the Gestapo telling you what to do. It's pretty wild.
I mean, what area of our life doesn't have some sort of government regulation in it at this point? You can't even have health insurance now without the government telling you what needs to be included in that health insurance. Every area, it's like, if there is any problem at all, the government has to be the one with the solution. And it's just such a lame excuse. Find other solutions besides just throwing more money at it and giving government more control into our lives.
Yeah, throwing more money at the problem doesn't fix it, and that's been proven time and time again. You need to have an actual solution. If there is a problem to fix, have an actual solution.
We just need more and more laws. That's all we need.
Yes, more government to protect you from yourself. That's what it boils down to. Now, I understand you have that permit yet in that park to do a little more protesting. Any other big things that you can tell us about that's going to be coming up with that?
I don't know the ones that are coming up. We've had a lot of fun. We had somebody come through and do their rap on Liberty, and we've had big signs that said honk if you are tired of government spending your money. I know that the protest organizer, David O'Massey, took all the change off the top of his dresser and offered to give it to the IRS because, the government, people want us to pay even more money to the IRS than we are obligated to pay. So he brought out a list for signatures and took it to Occupy DC and asked them how many of them are willing to pay more than they have to the IRS. And
that'd be good.
Yeah, it didn't have many takers on that.
No, I suppose not.
Funny how that works.
All right. Well, Jennifer, we're out of time here this morning, but we appreciate your time this morning and the great work you folks are doing with such a topic as this. I'm glad it got brought to the forefront and a lot of people got to hear what was happening.
Thank you so much for letting me be on.
All right. Good week. Take care. How does one find out more about your work, Jennifer?
I'm sorry?
How does one find out more about the work that you do?
I'm sorry, go to nationalcenter.org.
Nationalcenter.org. So
The
that's simple.
National Center for Public Policy Research. They have all kinds of great programs, including a program for Black conservatives to speak up and get their voices heard. I think you're going to have Dr. Borelli later in the week to talk about the Free Enterprise Project, which is a great project. I'm just a consultant. I handpicked the National Center. I thought they were one of the best policy organizations I've ever worked with, and I hope people will take a look at them.
All right, sounds great. Jennifer Biddison, thank you so much. Have a great day. Take care.
Thank you. You too.
Bye-bye, Jennifer.
All right, 10:50 is our time.